Yo, what is up? It has been a while. Did you miss us? It is your favorite wrestling podcast. I am Crunk Chocolate. I'm here with one of the stable mates, the show bro, B Flim. What's up?
Wave your hands from side to side and say, I believe in your favorite wrestling podcast. It's good to be back.
Oh man, I love that. Oh, it is so nice to be back. A little rest, a little relaxation. Honestly, just mad overwhelmed with all the other things with a crazy turbulent season ahead at SOB. But we're good now. We're back. Changed up some things like the format of the show. Got some exciting things, as always, to talk about. Plenty in wrestling. We can't talk about a month, 6 weeks of stuff in one episode. We're gonna do the hard hitting things, the things that I think are fun slash interesting, are a bunch of bullshit. As we will start here with our first segment, Beyond the Bell, is when we will be talking about the wrestling news and hot topics. SmackDown supposedly is going to 3 hours. I know they've kind of been talking about this for a while, but I think it has been made official. Official. I I feel two different ways about it. I don't have a life, so like Fridays, it's whatever. But I do understand people who might want to go out and do something on a Friday night. Now they have to contend with wrestling and stuff like that. Uh, but also, if it's just gonna be a bunch of nonsense like it has been as of
It's
lately.
already a bunch of nonsense. I don't know if the fix for SmackDown right now is adding an extra hour, because we had the extra hour like a
Mm-hmm.
year ago and
Mm-hmm.
it was still kind of a still product. So I don't know what they're going for here.
And the only way that this will make more sense, because I get it, the Roman Reigns intros, the Cody Rhodes intros, like everybody's intros take a majority of the show. Like that first segment, it's always 30 to 45 minutes, and then you kind of have to scramble and cut people and things like that. Well, I guess make it a little bit longer so people can get their stuff in. But if it's an extra hour added, but 20 minutes of it is going to be advertisement, which I'm kind of feeling like it's going to be, or what they need to do is just be like, the first hour is brought to you commercial free thanks to some business. Like they need to find a way to have that, because yeah, if it's just going to be a bunch of commercials, please keep it. I'm not here for it. Give these
Yeah.
mid card titles a chance. Like let women's tag team titles get a good run. Like they have the belts. The roster is getting, like, from top to bottom. I like the wrestlers more. Like we know
Right.
the top people, but this is a chance for some of the lower tiered wrestlers to get some attention and some love.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I just feel like the writing has to take a better direction in order for this to really work, which is what we were saying for the first time. It was 3 hours going down to 2 hours, and we haven't really seen that change. I think like the best thing about SmackDown has been like Drew McIntyre, and that's pretty much it. So, oh well, actually, the U.S. Open challenges from Ilya Dragunov, I will say,
Yeah.
I would be happy to see those get more time, but I don't know. Outside of that, it needs more from the writers' room.
Yeah, because I was about to run through the roster real quick on SmackDown, because it's like obviously Aleister Black is about to get his run. Oh yeah, the men's tag team titles have been basically dropped. Uh, I'm worried they're gonna use that time for the Wyatt Six. Like that's all I think it's
Probably.
gonna be. And yeah, actually, this SmackDown roster, because they lost Naomi, who was a big run out of it. Jade can get a nice little run. Bianca Belair's been gone. Yeah, okay, so yeah, they got Chelsea Green, Lash Legend. Oh, Lash Legend got the call up. I'm super happy for her. She
I'm
deserves it.
Yeah, Lash being called up. I'm super happy. That
And her and Nia Jax together, like, I'm like, please beat me up. Like, just do whatever you need to me. Like, goodness gracious. I love them two together, and they look like they are fucking people up. They fit so well together. And I can't
right.
wait for inevitably for Lash Legends to turn on Nia, because that's going to be a really good storyline for them.
Mm.
Mm. Okay. Uh, let's continue the nonsense going from TKO. The president, Mark Shapiro, says WWE, well, he's been saying a lot of stuff. He's been talking about how the ticket prices can actually be more. And also that WWE needs to move past Vince McMahon created PLEs, which led me to be like, isn't that all of them?
Yeah, I mean, at least the really big ones. Yeah, you have Money in the Bank events, WrestleMania,
Yes.
SummerSlam, Royal
Yes.
Rumble, Survivor Series, which they've kind of changed or try started to change the Survivor Series identity ever since adding War Games.
Yeah.
Um,
And I guess
but
you can say that's Triple H, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be hard to move away from the Vince created PLEs because the ones that you have are gimmicks that are too important to the
Exactly.
the brand,
Like
like
how
Elimination Chamber and uh, like Royal Rumble, like Survivor Series, like WrestleMania. Um,
and what are you and, like does he just mean change the name? Like you can't get rid of the Royal Rumble like in it of itself. I mean AEW would love that. Like all the other competition would love for you to get rid of those things because then they'll just take it. Like obviously
right.
they won't name it Royal Rumble, but they'll do the same gimmick and be like, okay, fans, we know you missed this. Now we have it. So it'll be very interesting to what that even means because like we get WrestlePalooza, but also that was ECW's stuff.
That was
So
ECW.
like
Bad Blood was WCW, if I remember correctly, or was that old WWE? They have some stuff that they carry up. No Mercy
yeah, No
in
Mercies.
particular. That's what
Yeah,
I was thinking of.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it feels like they started to not necessarily pay homage to like the other brands, but like try to take some of
Especially
their
in
POVs.
NXT. Like NXT, they name all of them, all the old WCW and ECW, which I absolutely love.
Yeah,
And that's all I can think of is maybe they just start taking those back, some of the old IP, but is that still not Vince? Because he was a part of WCW getting it. And that's the thing that intrigues me and it confuses me. It's maybe there are a couple like NXT styles matches where I guess they can move them up to WWE when they get the call ups that they're going to be doing. But even then, like, you're going to get rid of Royal, like WrestleMania. Like WrestleMania in itself, yes, it's Vince McMahon named, but it's just a spectacular night of wrestling. So like,
yeah,
what are you just going to do? Just put WrestlePalooza in its name instead? Like just change the name, but it's still a 2 night event where it's the biggest match of the weekend. People are still going to call it WrestleMania.
yeah. I do want to also clear up. This is not defending like Vince. By the way, I would
Oh, of
definitely
course,
be
of
in
course, of course.
support of like moving away from Vince's influence in wrestling, but it's just hard to do so when the most successful ideas were his ideas. So it I don't know. It's it's a tough thing to navigate for sure. Um I don't
And
even
it's
know
like
where you start.
yeah, right. It's because in order for you to do this, you need to innovate a wrestling match and something that has been around for so long, and it's kind of hard or difficult to come up with a new wrestling match, so that's all it really is. Because in order for you to get rid of something like the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, it's going to have to be new, fresh, and in theory better, more entertaining, more
Hmm.
fun. And I'm not saying they can't do that. I think
I would think it would be very hard for them to do that when every other special match they have is just a glorified no DQ match.
like bring back hardcore, like maybe. Well, and even then, all that stuff is still like, well, hardcore got taken away for a long time, so you could even bring that back and make it its own thing. But even if you try to bring back tables, ladders, and chairs, that technically is still like a Vince thing.
Hmm.
Any of the things that maybe have gone away for a while and could come back, it's still Vince coded, and I don't love that. But also, I feel like it's. I don't think it's from a whole we need to revolutionize wrestling. I think it's from they want to have their own fingerprints, so they can't say that it's Vince McMahon coded, or they want to try to get him out of the paint, so he can't be like, "Oh, everything is about me. You gotta thank me." And so, if you change all the wrestling names and everything, then you can say, "Screw Vince McMahon. We don't know you or owe you anything anymore." I get it. I get it.
Mm.
Uh, man. But also, even if you're WWE and you're trying to get away from the old asshole, you still are doing asshole things. Westside Gunn had a huge post on social media where he told people, everybody, that he was kicked out of a WWE show. I'm not sure if it was SmackDown or Raw, but it was. He said within the first 5 minutes he was kicked out. He paid $5,000 for his seat, and they kicked him out. He showed. I watched the video of it. The guy came up to him, said who he was. I don't really know the people like that, and then they also reached out to him and said him that he needs to change all of his music that is WWE coded, or else they're gonna shut all that things down as cease and desist. And a lot of
Yeah.
his wrestling covers, his songs, they have to do with WWE, and I get it. It's from the aspect that he has Fourth Rope going now, but also Fourth Rope is nothing like what WWE is trying to be. It's still very new. It is a minor league. If anything, I feel like these actions bring more attention to Fourth Rope, and I don't know. It's interesting because like I get it. He's technically a competitor, but it's only a big deal if you make it, and they made it a big deal.
I mean, it also kind of contradicts what they're allegedly trying to do with WWE ID. Like,
Mm.
I feel like the fourth rope isn't going to be anything that like completes or blows anything from WWE out of the water. It's an indie, from what I understand, at the end of
Yeah.
the day.
Yep.
So if you're burning a bridge like that, then it's like, what is the point of WWE ID? Like, are you just going to stay in that network of people that have ties to the brand, or are you going to actually go out and ID people outside of your rate, outside of your normal brand?
Yeah. Yeah, because most of the WWID affiliated companies are owned by previous WWE wrestlers. So
Right.
it really does feel like you're keeping it in house, and like how indie really is it. But we also know that they have been trying to set themselves up to just bring in their own wrestlers, which tend to be a lot of college D1, D2 athletes instead of people who have like eat, sleep, and breathe wrestling since they were kids. And there's give and take from it. A lot of the biggest wrestlers or the biggest upcoming wrestlers do tend to be some of these athletes, and but
Mm-hmm.
also you can argue some of the sneaky ones that have been able to come up and the ones who retain the most heat. Those are the like live and die, like LA Knight. As much as Triple H tries to kill LA Knight. Like he's just an indie wrestler who has always found some way to get himself interested and get people into him. It's the same thing with Joe Hendry. Like there are these wrestlers that they understand the fan base so well because they came from the indies, because they are a wrestling lover. Whereas some of these other wrestlers, I feel like they struggle because they're like, I have the appearance, I have everything else, but like, why isn't it connecting? And it's because technically you guys are like badass athletes, and that's cool. But sometimes you gotta be that dork who just loves wrestling. Sometimes.
Yeah. Um, I don't got much to add to it because I don't know. I didn't know like too much about the situation, but I don't know. It's one of those things where I think they should be a little more tolerant to the whole thing. Like, all he's really gonna do is bring more eyes to
And he
your
has.
brand,
It's what
and
he's done.
is
Honestly,
exactly. And like, you're gonna be there. We saw Cam Scatterboo pushing people on a broken ankle last night. Why can't we just let Westside Gunn do his thing, bro?
like that all that was so bad. Like, quit trying to put at Andrew Schultz in our face. Like, he got no pop from that that crowd. I laughed so hard because it was like people were like, "Yeah, Giants, Andrew Schultz," and he even like went and grabbed the Giants belt, and they kind of were like,
They did
"Yeah,
not pop.
yeah." Nobody cares about you, Andrew Schultz. No one likes you. Like, move on. Ah, oh, okay. Well, shout out to West Gun. Play some West Gun if you haven't. That's everybody's homework. Listen to some West Side Gun. It's always a good time. And he has The Hills Have Eyes. That's the name of a series. Well, he has so many, but it's a lot of wrestling. Like if you just look him up, all the covers, it's just like wrestlers. I'm sure that they're changed by now because he was given a cease and desist a week or so ago. Uh, excuse me, I'm sure he's made the move sooner than later. All right, we'll keep it moving to our rundown section, and this is where we will review the latest and the greatest in wrestling. And I know exactly where I want to start, but we're going to start with Chicago's own, the new champ, defeating Jey Uso at Saturday night's main event. It's clobbering time. CM Punk. Um, let's start from the wrestling match because it wasn't great. There were a few botches from Jay, and everybody always jokes about that time where he tried to do CM Punk tried to hit the neck breaker, and Jey Uso kept spinning and then got kicked in the head.
Okay.
Yes, as like a lesson to be like, bro, lock in, and this could be one of the reasons why he went with CM Punk. They've asked Jay to lock in. They've asked him to get his cardio up. He still gets gas after doing all that eating, which I get it. It's a workout in itself, but you would think a 2-3 mile run every morning would help you with that. He really hasn't seemed to hit any higher heights in his wrestling. He's always going to be who he is with the crowd. He's always going to be what he is when it comes to the Yeet shirts and all that stuff. But I do think CM Punk was the right choice. I already know you're going to agree with me.
Yeah.
How when he won, like, did you think that he was going to win before the match began?
Yeah. Seeing that matchup, I felt like it was kind of. I felt like it was kind of a foregone conclusion. Um, I think Jay had his run.
Yeah.
My mindset was that like Jay had his run at that point. He had two runs at that point. So um, where the story was with Punk and the Vision, it was gonna be. I think it was gonna be kind of circling around the Vision trying to not necessarily get the title back in Rollins' honor because we saw that went with Rollins being going off TV, but because they feel like they've earned that shot, and it's gonna be the beef is gonna be more valid if it's Punk holding the title than if it's Jey Uso. So I think on that front, I did expect that result. Um, didn't watch that Saturday night main event, so I am going off of secondhand what I saw on socials for the match. Um, they definitely could have used some, help with the chemistry, or I don't
Yeah,
know what the issue
it
was,
was it
but
was lacking. Yeah, for sure.
I heard it was lacking, which is kind of disappointing to hear. But I'm happy for Punk. I'm excited to see post War Games where this reign goes, because it kind of feels like this is a side filler episode that we're getting right now,
Nah,
which we'll touch on in a little bit.
just wasting time until Seth Rollins gets back because I mean, hey, and it looks like it could be Logan Paul because that's also what they use War Games for. Is War Games is like the beginning of different stories that will be told through WrestleMania, through SummerSlam, and I guess it can be CM Punk or Logan Paul or CM Punk and Braun Breaker. It will be very interesting. Let's do some fantasy booking. What would be CM Punk's first official program if you had the script?
If I had the script, it's hard. Because like as soon as I say Braun, I would want Braun to win the title.
Yeah, so you want it to be somebody he can win.
I don't want it to be somebody that he could beat first and foremost, but I don't want to say Logan because I don't want Logan to be his first title defense. Um,
I mean, but also you can just do it where his first thing is with Braun, but they don't officially end up wrestling for the title until WrestleMania, but you have him beat like The Miz and all these other people on the way there. What is it? CM Punk. Oh, okay, he's Raw, right?
he's
Yeah.
Raw, yeah. So there's a lot of Raw talent there. There's yeah, the Vision. Um, who else is there? Gunther's back now.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to beat on him. So obviously, you give AJ Styles a chance. You can beat up on him. Bring Grayson Waller. Let him beat up on them in the New Day. Trying to think. Oh yeah, that's actually kind of it. Like obviously, but him and Sheamus, that's two baby faces, so you don't necessarily want that. That's actually a problem that I'm looking at on
It's a lot of babyface or
a lot
babyface
of
adjacent.
babyface. Yeah, are and a lot of the heels just aren't serious enough. So I mean, I guess it depends on if Dominic Mysterio. I mean, if he ends up winning his title back, is his whole thing with John Cena just his chance to get a call up, a bump up from mid card because he seems to be the king of the mid card at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that could be his chance. He still loses to John Cena, but in a great match, now he can go and talk smack to CM Punk. Obviously, he wouldn't beat CM Punk, but people would love to watch CM Punk beat up Dom.
Right.
Yeah, it's actually
Uh,
really tough.
Finn Balor could be a fun matchup as well. I don't know. There's a couple directions you could take it. Don't like the direction it's going right now because it's lining up to be Logan, but who knows? We'll see what they draw.
I mean, even sticking with this whole division, it does seem like they have swapped in Logan Paul to take Seth Rollins' spot for now. Uh, I get it, especially because people are cheering Braun Breaker. People are actually they're cheering both of them, honestly. So it's you kind of need somebody in there who the crowd will boo because the crowd very much love them some Bronze. Like they're very big fans of them. So you kind of need somebody in there who's gonna boo, and that's gonna be him. It's gonna be Paul Heyman, and he can kind of step behind because that's exactly what they did when they got out of the car on Raw. Was they saw Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and the crowd was cheering, and then at the last second, that was when Logan came out. They started booing,
Mm.
and then Drew McIntyre came out, and then that doubled the booed. So they need those people who are going to insulate and make people. Because even with Dominic Mysterio, people were starting to cheer him, and he even was a little thrown off. So now you bring his dad back. He's back to booing. He goes after John Cena. Now he's back to being
After
booed.
being, yeah.
Yeah, so I liked how they managed to fix those things. And yeah, I am worried about this CM Punk because he's going to have to find some chemistry. That is the big thing. There are so many of these wrestlers that he doesn't have a lot of history with, and naturally, the ones that he does have history with, Seth is gone. But even then, that can get stale. They've wrestled so much; they've been just kind of orbiting each other over since CM Punk has returned.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's stay with this whole nonsense. We're talking about war games. Yeah,
War games.
war
We need the
games.
William Regal quip.
Add that to the list. War games, William Regal. Uh, so men's or women's, I guess. Which side would you want to start with?
Let's start with the men since we're already on this topic.
Yes, men's war games. It was found the final people in it who hit, uh, who came out. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. Oh, it is
Already
what it.
immediately lost interest.
So
It was already low with Logan Paul in there, but
and so are you like obviously Logan Paul, dude sucks as a human being, but
mhm.
as a wrestler, he's not that bad. He has managed to find a way to get real heat, or at least him being booed at doesn't seem to be because he sucks as a human. It seems because he sucks as a heel. Like he is very annoying. I will give him that. Um, but yeah, why are you not as excited? What is your reason to not being so excited
um,
about Logan Paul?
well, I just don't like him
That's
as a
fair.
person. um,
And then so there's is it one of because I mean I'm with you especially when it comes to Brock Lesnar, and it does seem like people have moved on from Brock Lesnar and like not liking the dude. They've been putting him in every single commercial. They're this is TKO. I mean, it's always been wrestling who I guess they have constantly worked with people with sketchy histories, but TKO in itself, even with UFC, they have all sorts of UFC fighters who are trash individuals, and yet they still get lifted and lauded. It's kind of uh, a conversation, or it's a difficult thing that we're gonna have to kind of accept with WWE now, and it honestly has been kind of pushing me to AEW. I really have been enjoying
mm,
AEW a lot more lately, and it's half the reason why I moved our stuff to Tuesday because now I don't want to miss
I
out
want to watch. Right.
on AEW's because I don't have HBO or yeah I don't have Max, so like I can't just rewatch those anytime I have to watch them live. Uh, but we got Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and the Usos, which I'm kind of over the Usos. I think this is going to be the worst thing for the Usos, is putting them in with all these monsters. Brock Lesnar, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre in the Vision, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and I guess Logan Paul is now part of the Vision. So that is the men's war game. I assume if the heels win in one, the face group will win in the other. where do you see this going? Do you see the heels are, and obviously we'll have like an official prediction because things can change. But when you see this lineup, how do you feel? Like, where do you see this going at first?
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a foregone conclusion that one heel team wins and one face team wins.
Mm.
We have had heel or both face teams win in the
Mm-hmm.
past before. Um, but I, with the inclusion of Brock, I would be surprised if the face team wins.
That's fair.
To be honest,
Yeah.
um, I feel like with how they did um, John Cena's match, that they're gonna try to make him some big huge superpower again.
Ugh.
Um, and combined with trying to make Bronson and Braun these big huge superpowers, um, I feel like they won't want to quote unquote mess that up. Um, but it just feels like a nothing match, bro. Like I don't see what you really get out of this as just
Mm.
as like either result. I really don't see what you get out of this. Like maybe you can build a little bit more at, if the heels win, but there's a lot of like oh in my opinion it interrupted a bunch of stories. Like for the Usos, for Jay, completely like he was going through like trying battling his demons, trying to not become Roman. We haven't had any mention of that in weeks ever since he started getting buddy buddy with CM Punk.
Yeah.
Roman, last time we saw him, he was like, he told the Usos, "Don't call me until Christmas, bro." That's out the window already.
Right.
So
It's not even Thanksgiving, and he's
it's
already
not even
turned.
Thanksgiving yet. So it's like, I don't know. It feels like they interrupted a lot just for the cash grab of it,
Mm.
um, which I don't particularly enjoy. But you know, it is what it is. They'll do what they want to do.
Oh yeah, always. I've been racking the entire time you've been uh, talking and making very valid points. I've been trying to think because Cody Rhodes has been getting edgier and edgier. Tribal, the tribal chief, the OTC. He's always kind of just been his not heel, not face. He was a heel, but then he became a face, but he never really apologized. So like, what is he? And then, like you said, Jay is a face, but was fighting demons. Is this gonna be the thing that finally breaks? Like all I feel like with Jimmy and Jay gonna be there, they're there to take the pin. Like, and it'll probably be Jimmy because he's the least. And that's kind of where I go first with this. It's like, who is the least important person who can take a pin, and I feel like that's Jimmy. And then Jay can blame Jimmy for getting pinned, and then that's when they can turn on each other again. And I feel like they're gonna try to run back their wrestling match that they had that fell on his face. That I think again is gonna fall on its face. Oh, yeah, and even with
Yeah.
the heels, it's like, yeah, where do they go? Does anybody on them turn on someone? I don't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and then again, the whole
I,
Brock Lesnar of it all.
and the big thing is with like Cody came out of nowhere for this. Like it's definitely just like each year they reserve their 10 biggest names and say, "Yo, you're doing war games," and like it it creates these um like I don't want to say like open-ended issues, plot holes. That's the word I'm looking for. It
Mm.
creates these plot holes in each of these characters' stories just for like the huge cash grab of the event and the chaos of the event. Which thankfully they do a little better on the women's side, but the men's side is always
Yes.
just like, you know, there's this stable and they're beefing with like these two people. Let's just add like 8 of the biggest names around them and do war games.
War games. And you said the women they do better, and I am much more interested in this perspective. War games. We have the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi, saying a Nia Jax slash legend and a fifth to be named. I am very interested in that and who you think that could possibly be. And then there's Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss. I guess Charlotte Flair's back on, even though she never technically said I'm back in, but she did go and save Alexa Bliss and hugged her at the end. So yes. And then there's still a person to be named from there, but everybody's talking about AJ Lee. And then if it's AJ Lee, then that means the heel has to be joined by Becky Lynch. That's the only thing that makes sense. But what does Becky Lynch have to do with Last Legend and Nia Jax? Like it just all doesn't make any sense. So who, I guess, do you see, or even who would you like to fill out those as those last wrestlers on both sides?
Um, I think AJ would make sense. She has nothing going on right now, to be honest. And being buddy buddy with Rhea, and they're trying to recruit people, and it's like, oh yeah, why not? She's down for it. She's down for a good fight, and I mean by extension, Becky would be the fifth inclusion just because she's gonna have beef with AJ now.
Yeah.
It could be, it's up in the air for Becky. She could go for after AJ for revenge. She could go after Maxine, try to get her title back. Um, but with it being like a week away, I could see Becky being like, okay, let me go handle AJ in War Games, and like whatever happens with the other people, I'm just gonna beat ass, even though that's not really your character right now.
But also,
Now I'm
isn't
thinking
it,
about it.
it's so, I feel so bad for Becky Lynch. Jessica Carr is going against her. Her freaking general manager is going against her. Like all these people are just going against the best of all time. Sports Illustrated says it. Everybody says it, and we just have all these people who are hating on her. Can you believe it? It's just awful. I feel bad for her.
I think they're all having a lot of fun with this angle. Becky especially, but the optics around it, and like the direction Becky has taken it, and the interaction she's having with other people in this character, it seems really fun. They're having a lot of fun with it. Um, I don't know how well it will work in war games. It will kind of feel out of place with the internal turmoil of the face group right now between Charlotte and Rhea, and then like it seems like the heel group is so gelled, just ready to beat ass over there.
Yes.
Inserting Becky into that is gonna add a layer of, okay, I'm bigger than all of you. I'm gonna do all the
Uh-huh.
work, and
Uh-huh.
then you all are gonna thank me for my inclusion in this team, and that doesn't really fit the we're just gonna beat everybody's ass angle.
Which I guess that's why you throw her in, because everything's been running so smooth. Now they need to throw a wrench into that side. Uh,
Yeah,
but this whole Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, I was so excited to watch them all wrestle together. And then, sure enough, they bring Charlotte Flair back into being an asshole. And it's like, what? Was this needed? Did we need to see this from Charlotte Flair? I was actually legitimately starting to enjoy her character. She's been getting her outfits off. Like, this is the most relatable she's seemed, most like hip she's ever felt. And they're gonna throw it in because she wants to take a jab at Rhea Ripley. Like, what are we doing?
I I think it has I think it adds a really nice wrinkle into it. I
Mm-hmm.
think it um what are the words I'm looking for? I think it adds more to her character. I feel like at this point she started to really liken herself up to Alexa, to the
Mm-hmm.
point where there wasn't going to be much more for her character to grow in that angle. They were just going to be like buddy buddy.
Mm.
Whereas now, I feel like we've seen her start. She started off as like her own person, Lone Wolf. We've seen her start to get along with someone. I wouldn't say she's particularly hated, but someone she wasn't like initially fond of.
Yes.
Like we've seen her growing, start to get along with her. Now we get to see if she can coexist with someone that she hates, and I think
Mm.
that's another angle of depth that you can add to the new Charlotte Flair character. If she can grow to get past somebody that has actively wronged her in her own view.
Okay. See, and this is why you have people who see things differently than you, because I I don't hate it so much now. Like I understand it, and also I'm the one who admits I'm fake. You know, I just give me added a little context, give me a little backstory, even just one good promo, and I'm back on.
Right.
I am the exact fan that they need. Speaking of, even the women's war game promo that happened, the crowd doing the what chants. Uh, I was so annoyed. You could tell that, and I don't even think because usually the what chants are that's like a telltale sign that the crowd doesn't care that they're doing a bad promo. And
Mhm.
I legit was like locked in. I was like, "Shut up,
Shut up.
crowd!
Yeah.
I actually want to hear this." Oh, it's just a case of that is like kind of, like that's the bad thing about these like uh MSG, the Philadelphias, these big crowds that can be loud, but they also think that they're the main characters,
Hmm.
and it just it was frustrating because then there were other segments like that Stephanie Vaquer, Nikki Bella, which also I think it's just because people don't really care about Nikki Bella, but the
Yeah.
crowd was super quiet about that. Like there were a couple segments where the crowd wasn't doing what I was hoping they would do.
Yeah, it comes with I'm over the what chance so
Oh,
much.
a thousand
They
percent. Okay. So speaking of the crowd, a lot of the conversation was the reason why the crowds have been so trash is because of these ticket prices, and it's very similar to what we see in English football. That the ticket prices are getting higher. So instead of the like everyday people who love wrestling, it's the people who think of it as like a field trip. That it's like this fun thing, so they're making a spectacle of it. They're on their social media. They are just going along with whatever. So if the crowd is chanting what, I'm gonna chant what. I don't know why we're doing it, but it's fun. And you're not necessarily getting people who know who the nicknames are, no, that instead they need a Dolph Ziggler type of vibes. Uh, I do you are you am I making any sense? I guess like do you see where I'm coming from, or do you just think that
No,
the
yeah,
crowd has just
I
been not great
100%
lately?
see. Yeah. Pricing is going to be a big topic of conversation ever since that one comment was made. Um it's pricing out the real fans was always going to be a big consequence, or it's always going to have big consequences, and I think we're seeing the drawbacks of it with the culture around at least the American crowds, because the normal fan in America is way too expensive right now, bro. Like
Yes.
the normal fan is not gonna dole out $300 for a nosebleed seat to Monday Night Raw. Like,
Yeah, man. Like nosebleed seats. Yeah, and I'm looking at like AEW and their nosebleed seats are, and it's not even nosebleed seats; it's the row under because the nosebleeds are actually bought. But I'm seeing tickets as low as $40.
that's how it should be. Let wrestling be accessible, not like you're not letting you're not gonna get new fans with these prices, and you're definitely not going to retain your old fans with the prices either.
Yeah, the ones like right by the ring, those are like $300, and even then, that's still not too bad. Like that's like a price
Yeah.
to NBA game and NFL game, and that's like okay seats. But I mean, if you're gonna be by the ring, you'll be able to talk to the wrestlers, get smack their hands and things like that. That same seat in WWE, that's gonna be $5,000. We just talked about it with Westside Gunn. And I know AEW has a long ways to go before they catch up, if they ever catch up, because we're starting to hear the conversation. Is TNA bigger than AEW? You're all shills, by the way. Anybody who asks that question, you're all WWE shills. Like, I know exactly who you're affiliated with, who you prefer. No, it's not. TNA will never be bigger than WWE. Well, I don't want to say never because never is a hyperbolic statement. But I do not see TNA being bigger than AEW anytime soon. And TNA have some great wrestlers and like actual TNA wrestlers, not old WWE wrestlers who have gone to TNA. Like TNA have some really good wrestlers, and we've been able to see a few on NXT. But I feel like they're only ever going to go from TNA to possibly WWE, and yeah, so it'll be very interesting. And then also the argument, I'm just running with it. All of these champions at WWE right now, they're old AEW talent. Cody Rhodes, Jade Cargill, um, the TNA, the NXT champion, uh, actually the men's and women's champion at this moment. Like there's so much AEW talent who has left, and now they're doing their thing at WWE. There's this conversation: does this make AEW look better, or does a lot of people like to say that AEW fumbled these people, and now they're at WWE doing their thing? But also, I think it kind of just shows how great AEW is because they've lost all of these people, and I am enjoying AEW now more than ever.
Yeah, I definitely will have to tap into more AEW. I really only watching the pay-per-views
Hmm.
at this point, but the weekly I heard Blood and Guts was crazy.
It was
Uh
so good. It was crazy. And Blood and Guts is literally just war games, but it's with literal like people are bleeding like 4 minutes into the match. Like it's
right.
insane. There's like tax. They're like legit murdering. They almost did a mankind moment where the people climb all the way up to the top and you think someone's about to jump down. Like there were multiple spots in it where my heart started like literally fluttering and I started getting nervous. Like I haven't felt like that watching WWE in a very long time. And so that is what I'm loving about it. Mercedes Monet is really starting to cook and she's on like title 12 now. Like it's she legitimately has like oiled up muscular dudes carrying her belts. She has two of them, and then like a bunch of guys come out and they're just holding the other ones. It's gotten so ridiculous. I actually hate how much I'm loving AEW because like a year ago I was shitting on it and I was like, it's so stupid. Half the people don't understand wrestling. They don't even look like wrestlers, and they've seemed to figure all that stuff out.
Yeah, it's just a different brand. It's just
It is.
they I think they take the art of wrestling more into consideration
Yep.
than WWE does. I feel like they're more WWE is more storyline driven, or storyline and moment driven.
Yeah.
Um, AEW feels like more minute to minute wrestling.
Yes. Yeah. They definitely tell a lot of stories
Yeah.
in the wrestling itself, as instead of like a bunch of promos. And a lot of the promos they do have, they're pretty short and sweet, and they're not like 15-minute intros. And yeah, I love it. Lots of big personalities. It's great. It's great. Um, let's see. Let's do Jade Cargill because they seem to finally be giving her a chance to be what she looks like. It's just this utterly dominant muscle mommy kicking everybody's ass, not unapologetic. talking smack to anybody, and I love it. It seems to have worked. I don't know if it is because her wrestling has gotten better. I mean, it has gotten better, but I don't know if it makes more sense because her wrestling has gotten better, or if this is something that they probably should have just did in the first place. Let her be dominant and badass, and the wrestling would come. But who cares? We're here now. I absolutely love it. That scar that Nia Jax gave her, Queen Maker, Nia Jax, the Queen Maker. You're welcome, Becky. You're welcome, Jade. How are you feeling about Jade Cargill as the champ now that the Storm is
um,
here?
I just hope that she doesn't run through the women's division too fast. Now granted, like you do have like most of the division, like most of the division that would challenge for the title in the War Games match right now, but
Mm.
I do like that she's becoming a monster. Absolutely squashing the people that she's starting to line up and face. They're building her up to be, you know, kind of an unstoppable force.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm interested to see who it. I assume Tiffany will come back and want a rematch, but you know, after that point, when after she has like this run, I'm interested to see how she takes challenges like Tiffany, like Nia Jax will want to be pushing for that title. Last Legend, Bianca when she comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like they're just laying the groundwork for you know her not taking any shit and just like going in there taking care of business. Once she starts to get like challenged and rivals, I'm very interested to see how her character evolves.
Exactly. Like obviously we got Naomi and Bianca who still need to return, but they are still months away. Bianca Belair, she basically, I think she said the knuckle in her middle finger is
Yeah.
like what's really been messing with her, and uh, it's now been 6 to 8 months, and she still doesn't have like a timeline of when she will return. So that's been interesting, but she's been using this time to really grow her persona. Like she's some of the like I saw her on like BUT's social media doing stuff with them. It's like, wait, what? So she's using this time to really grow her name as a character, but there's still, let's see, she can beat down Julia and Kiana James because they're a pair. She still has Zelina Vega. Well, just Zelina. Sorry, just Zelina, and then that's when she will start getting to, yeah, the Nia Jaxes, the Last Legends, the uh maybe could go after Chelsea Green, but also I mean, oh yeah, Candice LeRae too. So like she has a few people that she can beat up on for one of them every other week or so. That's 2 months of her just beating down the other women before maybe she needs to start facing an Alexa Bliss, a Charlotte Flair, the people who
Right.
are of note where she might not be able to be as dominant. But yeah, no, she has some people that she can do some squash matches for. So there's at least four people that she can realistically beat down, and it feels believable, and it doesn't feel like they're just squashing just for the sake of squashing. All right, and last, before we get out of here, this John Cena, the last time is now tournament. Um, the whole thing, he keeps talking about how he's gonna get some new exciting person over, but only people left in this tournament are just old people that he has had history with and Gunther. So we kind of feel like we know where this is going.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like yeah, that was kind of false advertising. But the young people that did have matches did put on well in their matches. Like Javon versus Gunther yesterday was great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Javon's going to be such a goat when he comes up. Um but I mean, are we for real?
We
Are
really
we
doing
sure?
this? We
Are
really
we
doing this?
sure?
You going with this?
We're going with this. Okay, if you want.
So Rusev versus John Cena in his last match, right?
Uh huh. Uh huh. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
He's getting his
Um,
payback.
he's getting his payback. I I think if any okay, so it has to be Gunther, right? But
Yeah.
if it's not Gunther, I'd like to see him face Sheamus for the IC title. I know Sheamus has had like 16,000 chances to get his IC title, but I feel like it would be a nice moment to have uh John run off in the sunset and give Sheamus his Grand Slam like Dom did for John.
And I saw this on social media that when Sheamus won the WWE Championship from John Cena in a tables match, that was December 13th, 2009. John Cena's last match,
December 13th.
2025. So, like, I mean, that would be a really fun full circle moment that would make me a little more interested in this. Obviously, that means that John Cena would again have to beat Dom Mysterio, which
True,
bums
which
me out. But
I
also,
I I also would not be surprised if Dom wins that match.
well, yeah, I mean, it's going to be back in front of his home. Well, I mean, I do expect for him to win it. But if he loses, and like I said earlier, then he just uses that to now go after CM Punk, and he goes after the top titles for a little bit, and then let whoever wants to be the Intercontinental Champ win that for a little bit and do their thing, have some fun. He's still the AAA Campeon, Mega Campeon. He can find something else. Have him win the tag team titles with. Uh, oh God, I don't even want to say it, but he can win the tag team titles with insert a name, even if they are a silly gimmick. But I enjoy them together. Um, Also, have you seen his girlfriend?
Yeah,
His new girlfriend? Like shout out to him. He's really taken in
he's
that.
completely enmeshed in the culture, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, hey, hey.
Like respect. Like that's wrestling. Like they say, the best wrestlers go all in their character, and he is done it. Like shout out for him getting rid of MAGA Barbie, and now he's living it up. He's living it up. Shout out to him. I'm happy for him. Who knew Charlotte Flair was the one who would be the beginning of the end for them, though? Like, I never saw that coming.
Who would have thought? Not me. Not me at all.
Also, I see that Kiana James and Charlotte Flair, they hit the gym a lot together.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
for real?
Yeah, like they do a lot of like gym selfies together.
Hey,
And that makes sense because Kiana James is like ripped. Like very much. She's also somebody I'm a big fan of. Like yeah. I didn't enjoy her as much in NXT, but I could see the promise. And then when she disappeared for a little bit and came back, and I was like, "Ooh, she's been in the gym." You know, I'd let her throw me around anytime. Uh, well, that was all right. This is nice. Welcome back. We're back. This was a nice little amuse bouche, a little warm up. Um, Possibly talking to somebody. They are in England, but they are a fan of AEW and Ase wrestling. So I might start doing like a second YFWP recording with them on Thursdays. So listeners, viewers, watch out for that. That could be happening soon. Yeah, Beeflin, let people know where they can find you and the cool things you do.
Same places as you heard me talk about. 50 plus donor.
Yo.
Um, every Thursday. You got uh what else? Oh, my my personal stream. My
Your own
bad.
stuff.
Uh, Twitch.tv/B double underscore phlegm. Normally every Fridays. I'm starting Saturdays. So yeah, those are the two places you can find me. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Love it. And check us out on Blue Sky, YFW Podcast, YFW Podcast at .bsky.social, or you can do at Shades of Blue and W, and you can just get everything that we do over here with all the things that I do. Check us out. Until next time, you know what we do.